Hi friends, welcome back to my channel if you're returning. I recently went to San Francisco for a weekend a few weeks ago and wanted to journal that time there. It was a very short trip, and a little backstory to me, but I actually went to college in San Francisco, so after being there for 4 years, my trips back to San Francisco are usually quick and not that touristy, but I still love to visit the city when I can. For this first spread, I'm using the Traveler's Notebook where I'm holding all of my travel related spreads in there because I want this to be kind of like an archive of all of the trips that I go on. Honestly, I still haven't really decided what spreads end up in my Traveler's Notebook and what spreads end up in my general junk journal because, as you'll see later in this video, I switch up to my usual junk journal, so I'm still figuring out my journaling system, but I figure it doesn't have to be that restrictive, and when I'm looking back at either my Traveler's Notebook or my regular junk journal, I'll still have the memory of that trip. Like I mentioned before, I usually skip all of the touristy things whenever I'm back in San Francisco, and because this was such a short trip, it actually was kind of difficult to find junk, but luckily I was able to grab some magazines and pamphlets from the information desk at the airport, so I'm using a map from that magazine as the starting background of the spread. Then we went to Soane, which is in the Dogpatch neighborhood, and it's such a beautiful space. I could have sat there for hours. But I got their banana oat milk matcha, which I think they used real banana for it because it was super creamy and it didn't have that artificial banana taste like some syrups can have. It was really good. And I also tried their gochujang cookie, which I forgot to take a picture of, but it was the perfect blend of sweet and a little bit spicy from the gochujang. It was my first time trying a cookie like that, but now I want to try baking some for myself. I also grabbed a pamphlet from the SF MoMA. We didn't actually go to the MoMA, but it is probably one of my favorite museums ever, at least the top 10, so it felt right to include it to my spread. Then this is kind of out of chronological order, but I have this receipt from dinner my friend and I had when she picked me up from the airport. We had Vietnamese food at a restaurant called Side Street Pho in Alameda where she had the rice dish and I had the beef noodle dish, and it was so good. It was kind of different from how I usually have it, where it was very aromatic and lemongrassy, which I don't always love the taste of lemongrass, to be honest, but in this dish it did work. On my last day in San Francisco, my friend and I went to grab matcha at Oishi Matcha in the Castro, where she had the standard matcha latte and I had their yuzu matcha soda, and I think yuzu and matcha is a fabulous combination every single time. Then we went to the photo booth museum just a few blocks away, and this is a photocopy of one of the strips that I took there. I didn't want to glue down the actual strip itself, so I just photocopied it at home and cut it out for the spread so that way I have the original and also this version for my journal spread. The photo booth museum is actually heaven on earth. There were so many booths to choose from and it actually was really crowded there, so this whole 2026 analog year is definitely here to stay for a while. Lastly, I'm taping down my boarding pass for my flight, which I never used to get before junk journaling, but now I make an effort to get to the airport at least 30 minutes earlier, just in case, to grab one specifically for journal spreads. And here is a quick little spread of my weekend in San Francisco. On to the next spread. I had seen these videos where people recreate a photo booth for an interactive spread and wanted to try it for myself since I had a few extra strips from my visit to the photo booth museum. I didn't really look up or follow any tutorials for this, so this is me purely winging it, and whenever I start a spread but I'm not really sure how I want it to look or where to start, I always just start by placing scrapbook paper down as my foundation and cut everything up and figure it out from there, so that's what I'm doing here. The space itself was so cool. There were photo booths there from as early as the 70s, and I can't even imagine how much maintenance goes into keeping up a 50-year-old photo booth machine operating at this scale and speed. When I tell you the space was so crowded, there was a point where you couldn't even really turn without bumping into someone. And there were lines for specific photo booths because they had the best contrast. I don't know if this is just me, but it feels like everyone is obsessed with photo booths, me included, and has their profile picture of a photo booth strip that they took recently. also me included, and I just love that more people are embracing analog things and trying to embrace a slower life. I just think in this day and age where everything moves so quickly, the intentional act of slowing down and disconnecting, even for a few hours, can be so beneficial because we're truly not built to move at this speed. And that's why I love journaling. When I first started, I wasn't really sure if it would be a hobby I would keep up with because I just thought my life was too boring and there wouldn't be anything interesting to journal about, but I have grown to love this hobby more and more. It's taught me to embrace the little things in life. Like I would never keep a coffee sleeve from a cafe before, but now when I use it to journal with, it unlocks a memory for me. Even if it's not this big grand event, I still look back at that coffee sleeve very fondly. On the flip side, journaling has helped me get out of my comfort zone and actually do things that I have always wanted to do but talked myself out of it because I either didn't have anyone to go with or honestly staying home just sounded better. But now journaling has motivated me to just go out and explore, and I actually look forward to trying new places now. It's also helped me address my perfectionism, which I feel like was the thing that held me back from enjoying other hobbies. But since there are no rules to journaling, I just let myself craft freely without worrying about the end result, even if a spread doesn't turn out the way I wanted it to, like this photo booth one here. And not to say that there's anything wrong with this spread per se, but I just would have moved the slot where the strip goes a little bit lower so that it's a little bit more hidden, but that's just me being picky. On to the last spread and the main reason why I was in San Francisco to begin with, which was to go to the Twice concert with my friend. My friend and I had VIP tickets, which was super fun because one, they let you go in early to watch a part of their sound check and it's super intimate. I even got a little heart from Sana, who is one of my biases. And two, they give you a little gift bag of exclusive merch, and I actually would reuse some of this stuff again, like the travel mirror and the travel pouch. And I think it's super cute that they gave us a sticker and a postcard as part of our gift because it's like they just knew that I would use it to journal with. So in addition to this stop, I also went to another stop later in the week in LA, and a common question I get from people in my life is, why do I go to multiple stops of the same concert if they're performing the same songs? And I feel like I only do this for K-pop, honestly, because I could go to pretty much any other artist's concert one time and be totally fine. But I think the fact that there are so many members in K-pop groups that I feel like I'm not getting the full experience of the concert when I go just one time. I don't know if that's just me, but I feel like it's so normalized within K-pop fans to try to go to multiple shows if you can, because there is truly so much that happens at a K-pop concert that isn't like any other concert in my opinion. But obviously, it's never a necessity to go to a concert more than once. I never want to promote that, but it's kind of how things ended up for me with this recent Twice tour. This tour in particular was super fun because they incorporated a 360 stage for, I think, the first time, where it was truly a good view no matter where your seat was, and you got to see every member on your side of the venue at least once throughout the concert. They changed a lot of their formations of their choreography to make sure that every angle of the stage had at least one member there for the audience, so you can see that there was a lot of thought and work behind this tour. In regards to this spread, I tried to work with as much junk as I could, but I feel like it's kind of difficult to collect junk at a concert where tickets are digital, food packaging from these venues are usually plain and basic, and I don't know if this is just the venue specifically or generally in the Bay Area or maybe just a more common trend, but it was so difficult to get a paper receipt almost anywhere. Every time I would buy something like a little drink and select how I would want my receipt, the only options were email, text, or none at all, which I understand means less trash overall, but I do feel like it is a cultural Bay Area thing to just not believe in paper things anymore and really lean into the technology of things. Although these type of spreads can be challenging for me sometimes because I like a more maximalist junk journal style, so working with little junk can feel a little off for me, but it was still fun to try to make this spread work with what I had and go out of my comfort zone a little bit, because at the end of the day, the most important part is the memory itself, not the spread. The journal spread just helps to act as a physical reminder of that memory. But yeah, here are 3 spreads that I made after a very fun but quick weekend in San Francisco. I hope you enjoyed this journal with me video, and if you would like more videos like this, please remember to like and subscribe. Bye!